The human Scott, stood before the stunned Galactic Council and confessed humanity's most chilling secret, one that, if revealed, could lead to the extinction of mankind itself at the hands of a wrathful galaxy. In the far reaches of Eridus Prime, a vibrant green world, a dingy bar sat nestled in the bowels of a bustling space station. The air hung heavy with smoke and tension as Mira, a lithe, blue-skinned Iridian, huddled close to her burly, scarred compatriot, Zaxol. She spoke in hushed tones, her voice barely audible over the din of the crowded room. "Zax, you won't believe what happened at the council meeting today," Mira whispered, her violet eyes darting nervously around the bar. "That human representative, Scott, he confessed to something that's got the whole galaxy on edge." Zaxol leaned in, his interest piqued. "What did he say? Must be big if it's got you this worked up." Mira took a deep breath, steeling herself. "The humans, they've been keeping secrets from us. Big ones. They've been reverse engineering our tech, making breakthroughs that could shift the balance of power in the galaxy." Zaxol scoffed, shaking his head. "Impossible. Those hairless apes are barely a Type 2 civilization. They couldn't have made those kinds of leaps without us knowing." "That's what we all thought," Mira said, her voice grave. "But Scott had proof, schematics, prototypes, things that are centuries ahead of anything we've seen, and that's not even the worst part." Zaxol's eyes narrowed. What could be worse than that? Mira glanced around again, lowering her voice to a barely audible whisper. "The humans have been infiltrating our governments, our corporations. They've been playing us all for fools, biding their time until they were ready to make their move." Zaxol slammed his fist on the table, rattling their drinks. "This is an act of war. The council needs to put those upstarts in their place before it's too late." Mira shook her head, her expression grim. "It might already be too late. There are rumors that some of the council members have been compromised. We don't know who we can trust anymore." As the two Iridians continued their hushed conversation, the bar buzzed with a palpable sense of unease. The galaxy had been thrown into chaos, and the future was uncertain. One thing was clear, however. The humans were not to be underestimated, and their secrets could spell doom for them all if they failed to act. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, and time was running out. The ornate door to Councillor Thaxon's private chamber swung open with a soft whoosh, and Mira and Zaxol stepped inside. The room was dimly lit, with a large holographic display dominating the center. Thaxon sat behind a sleek metal desk, his silvery hair glinting in the soft light. He looked up as the pair approached, his deep-set eyes filled with concern. "Councillor, thank you for seeing us on such short notice," Mira said, bowing her head respectfully. Thaxon waved his hand dismissively. "Please sit. Tell me what troubles you." Zaxol leaned forward, his voice urgent. "It's the humans, Councillor. Their revelation at the council meeting has us all on edge. We fear they may have infiltrated the council itself." Thaxon raised an eyebrow. "That's a serious accusation. What makes you think this?" Mira spoke up. "Scott's demonstration of their advanced technology was too perfect, too well-timed. It's as if they knew exactly when and how to drop this bombshell on us." Thaxon stroked his chin thoughtfully. "You mentioned a device. What exactly did he show the council?" Mira's voice dropped to a whisper. "It was a small cube, no larger than my fist. Scott claimed it was a prototype of a new energy source capable of powering entire planets with a single unit." Thaxon's eyes widened. "Impossible. No species has ever achieved such a feat." Mira nodded grimly. "That's what we thought. But when Scott activated the device, it lit up the entire council chamber with a blinding light. The energy readings were off the charts." Zaxol interjected. "And that's not all. Scott also claimed the humans have developed a new propulsion system, one that can cross vast distances in a fraction of the time it takes our fastest ships." Thaxon leaned back in his chair, his brow furrowed. If this is true, it could revolutionize space travel, but it could also give the humans an unprecedented military advantage. Mira's voice was grave. "Exactly. And who knows what other technologies they've been hiding." Thaxon stood up abruptly, his expression serious. I must bring this information to the other councillors immediately. We need to devise a plan to deal with this situation before it escalates. Zaxol rose to his feet as well, his fists clenched. With all due respect, Councillor, talking won't solve this problem. We need to take action. We need to find out how deep the human infiltration goes and root them out before it's too late. Thaxon placed a hand on Zaxol's shoulder, his voice calm but firm. I understand your frustration, but we must be careful. If we act too rashly, we could play right into the humans' hands. Mira stood up, her eyes determined. Councillor, let us help. Zaxol and I have contacts throughout the galaxy. We can gather information and find out more about the humans' plans. Thaxon nodded slowly. Very well, but be discreet. We don't want to tip our hand too soon. As Mira and Zaxol left the meeting room, they exchanged a glance. They knew they had a difficult task ahead of them, but they were determined to uncover the truth behind the humans' shocking revelation. The fate of the galaxy may depend on it. The flashing lights of the CD bar flickered on Grix's wrinkled face as the stocky Zorgian leaned forward, drawing his voice low. I tell you, the humans have been at this for longer than anyone knows. Take the Khorzan rebellion that tore through the Empire for years. Guess who supplied both sides under the table? The humans, that's who. Prolonged the war, made each side bleed the other dry. Zaxol pounded his fist to the table. The glasses rattled. Millions died in that conflict. You mean to tell me humans orchestrated all that? Grix shrugged. That ain't even the half of it. Humans love playing the long game, sowing chaos to keep the rest of us weak, toppling this government, funding these rebels, all building to something real big. What are they preparing for? Mira urged, voice low. Hard to say. Some of my sources, they talk about this prophecy. A human-led reckoning that'll reshape things, bring a new order to the galaxy, with mankind on top. Prophecies and rumors, we need evidence, not myths, Zaxol scoffed. Hey, you want my intel or not? Grix held up his hands. There's more. See, humans ain't just scheming with the council. They're building their own power block with the heavy hitters, making backroom deals and giving gifts, if you know what I mean. Mira's eyes narrowed. Which factions? Grix counted on his stubby fingers. The Valorians, the Quicksands, shit, even my own kind, the Zorgians. Mankind's been real busy making friends in all the right places, if you catch my drift. Zaxol stood, his face grim. Mira, we need to warn the council. If the humans have that much support... I hear you, but we need proof first, something real. She turned to Grix. That intel on their alliances, you can get it? The Zorgian smiled, all teeth. Sure, but it'll cost you extra. Lot more than a single chip, darling. Mira sighed and slid him a thicker credit chit. This should cover it. Don't make me regret this. Hey, I'm nothing if not a male of my word. Grix swiped the chip and stood. I'll be in touch real soon. As the informant slunk into the crowd, Mira and Zaxol shared a dark look. This conspiracy ran deeper than they ever imagined. Mankind was not just ahead of the curve, but 10 steps ahead, with tendrils in every corner of the galaxy. And now these humans were preparing for something big, something that would change everything. The two Iridians knew one thing. They were in a race against time, and the fate of every species hung in the balance. If they failed to stop the human plan, there may not be a galaxy left to save. Mira gripped the table, Mira gripped the data chip tightly as she and Zaxol raced through the pristine corridors of the Galactic Council headquarters. Their footsteps echoed off the polished metal floors, urgent and purposeful. They burst into Councillor Thaxon's office, the door hissing open with a pneumatic whoosh. Thaxon looked up from his desk, his deep-set eyes widening at their abrupt entrance. Mira, Zaxol, what's the meaning of this? Mira stepped forward, her voice breathless but firm. Councillor, we have urgent news. The humans, they've been manipulating us for decades. Thaxon stood, his brow furrowing. What have you discovered? Zaxol clenched his fists. The Khorzan rebellion, the destabilization of governments across the galaxy. It was all them. The humans have been pulling the strings from the shadows. Thaxon's eyes narrowed. That's a serious accusation. Do you have proof? Mira nodded, holding out the data chip. This contains evidence of their alliances with the Valorians, Quicksands, and Zorgians. Secret deals, trading technology behind our backs. Thaxon took the chip, inserting it into his console. His face paled as he scanned the data, the holographic display casting an eerie blue glow over his features. This is worse than we feared. The humans have made fools of us all. Zaxel slammed his fist on the desk. We need to confront them, demand answers for their treachery. Thaxon shook his head. No, we can't let them know we're onto them, not yet. We need more information, build an ironclad case against them. Mira leaned in, her voice low. Counselor, there's something else. Our contact mentioned a human prophecy, a galactic reckoning that will reshape the universe itself. Thaxon's eyes widened. A prophecy, what does it say? We don't know the details, Mira admitted, but if the humans believe in it, it could explain their actions, their endgame. Thaxon began to pace, his hands clasped behind his back. We need to uncover the truth about this prophecy. If it's driving the humans' plans, we must understand it. Zaxel nodded. Agreed, but how do we do that without tipping our hand? Thaxon stopped, turning to face them. We need an insider, someone close to the human representative who can gather intelligence without raising suspicion. Mira's eyes lit up. Scott's assistant, Alex, he's human, been with Scott for years. He has access to all his files, his communications. Thaxon nodded slowly. Perfect. Mira, I want you to get close to Alex. Befriend him, gain his trust. See if you can learn anything about this prophecy or the humans' true goals. Mira straightened, her jaw set. I'll do whatever it takes, Counselor. Zaxel frowned. What about me? I want to help. Thaxon turned to him. Zaxel, I need you to keep digging. Leverage your contacts, follow up on any leads, no matter how small. We must uncover the full extent of this conspiracy. As they left Thaxon's office, Mira and Zaxel shared a look of grim determination. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. They were up against a formidable foe, but they would not rest until they exposed the humans' schemes and put an end to their machinations, no matter the cost. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.